So you're welcome to Windsor Park, where there is something historic that Shelbourne are trying to do tomorrow. And that's not just qualify for the league phase or the group stage of European competition for the first time. It's also to try and beat the same team in Europe in the space of 2 months, which is a new story in Irish football. And yet, you would have thought maybe when this European race started that a Shelbourne-Linfield rematch would be as big as it gets. And yet the mad thing about what we're facing on Thursday night is that the game that will happen here is just one part of a broader story involving 2 games on this island. The Shamrock Rovers against Santa Clara in Tallaght, and we have the Linfield-Shelbourne rematch here. And this is uncharted territory. I know there are phrases that we use in sports journalism all the time where you sort of use a degree of hyperbole, like building up a match, and this is the biggest game since it's the biggest game since the last one. But this is one of those nights where it's sort of unprecedented. I know that 2 teams could have qualified for the groups last year if St. Pat's had beaten Santa Clara, but Shamrock Rovers were already through to where they wanted to be in terms of the Conference League groups, where we have this decision day. We have this Thursday where 2 clubs around, a couple of hours drive apart, between them, 2 League of Ireland clubs could make that jump to have 2 teams in the league phase, to have, at a time, and I know people don't always like the financial angle, when the game is struggling, to have, another €7.5 million come in via UEFA, 3.8 to Shells, 3.7 to Shamrock Rovers. It's a very significant day. The Shelbourne players are having a look around over my shoulder. They did their training in Dublin, they did their preparations. It is that strange vibe that generally the night before European tie, it's about coming to have a look at the stadium, checking into a hotel, getting used to maybe the surroundings, the terrain, the environment. They've been here recently, just up the road. They've been through the routine. And I suppose listening to Joey O'Brien today, I suppose the main prevailing message is, can they learn maybe from some of the lessons of this European campaign, from getting the balance between motivation and tension, and that's something he spoke about in quite a long answer, because they are in control. The 2 goals clear. He admitted themselves they had a little bit of luck last week. The second leg here previously in the Champions League got a little bit hairy at times. There is that sense though that they are in control of their destiny if they keep their nerve. The Shamrock Rovers one is maybe the surprise package. I was in the Azores last week and to watch them beat Santa Clara, to create now this big event in Tallaght. They're trying to become the first team to qualify via what they call the main path, the non-champions route. And look, I was there after the game last Thursday night. The Rovers players, there was a sweet sense of satisfaction, but there wasn't this euphoria. They weren't getting carried away. They've been there earlier this year leading against Molde and not seeing the job through. Again, maybe you have a parallel between 2 ties in that both teams have been in comparable situations to this. Shelbourne led against Rijeka in the previous round, albeit at home, and couldn't finish it off. But this is big. There's a bigger backdrop of what's going on in Irish football. There's this weird Wednesday where job cuts are being announced around the FAI. A very sombre sort of story, and the academy audit revealing all that's wrong with football on this island, and in the FAI's jurisdiction. And yet we could have the greatest night in the history of club football. So there's a lot of things to unpack. There will be a lot of drama, I think, on Thursday night. I'm actually going to be in Tallaght for the second leg of the Shamrock Rovers Santa Clara game. Sean O'Connor will be back up here to finish off covering the Shells Linfield tie, and Shells, I guess, will be hoping that they finish the job, but you can stick with us on the Irish Independent for what could possibly be a very momentous night.